Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest look at your forecast. Mid to upper 80s yesterday. That will be the warmest day that we'll have for the rest of the month. We're cooling down for the remainder of the week, although still remaining quite mild for this time of year through Thursday before we usher in some cooler temperatures Friday and another reinforcing cold front comes through over the weekend. Yesterday we had wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. I think will be very similar for today. We also had just a little bit of rain yesterday. Now nothing specifically at the airports, but in other areas there was at least a quarter-inch worth of rainfall, especially where you see the green. Got a little bit heavy downpours that came through early in the morning around the Onega, Westmoreland area, and then further down to the south in the northern portions of Morris County, especially northwest of White City, south of Junction City there. That's where the heaviest of the rain fell for the last 24 hours yesterday, especially in the morning. More rain expected for today, and especially for eastern communities. That's why it's going to be closer to the low 70s rather than maybe in the mid. I cannot rule out upper 70s in north central Kansas, especially if there is a little bit more sun before the clouds increase for today. So certainly don't be surprised if it does get close to 80 in places like Concordia, maybe Washington. So something to be aware of, but certainly cooler than what it was yesterday. Wind gusts, very similar. Southerly winds gently gusting for the 30 to 35 mile per hour range maximum. As we head into tonight, the winds do relax a little bit for a brief period of time and then pick back up again for tomorrow. For most areas, once again, 25 to 35 miles per hour. So these winds will continue once again. All right, so here's a look at one of our computer models. Again, we'll continue to fine-tune this on a day-by-day basis, but I really think the chance of rain increases by the late morning hours and continues into the afternoon, mainly along and south of the Turnpike. That's where the highest potential for rain is going to be. So if you're in places like Manhattan, Clay Center, Concordia, Marysville, there's a chance you don't get anything at all for today. And so that's going to be something to be mindful of and keep an eye on the radar throughout the day. We'll continue with the very low chance for a few spotty showers and thunderstorms for tonight and into tomorrow. It may not be quite as high with the opportunity of rain for tomorrow, but obviously, as I mentioned, we'll take it on a day-by-day basis. Here's a look at how much rain could potentially fall within that computer model through midnight. You'll notice that areas, especially down near I-35, even Burlington, getting at least a couple inches worth of rainfall, a little bit less further up to the northwest. Now that's through about midnight, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. This is even continuing into the rest of the overnight periods through about 6 a.m. on Thursday. And you'll notice that once again, the majority of the rainfall, especially on the graph and the European on the top models there, is indicating the southeastern section of our viewing area getting the higher rainfall totals. The GFS and the NAM are actually a little bit more widely scattered, a little bit more widespread with the amount of rain. But you get the idea that we are going to be getting rain over these next couple of days. I think it does dry out a little bit on Friday, especially once that cold front pushes through. We'll watch it just to see if we have to put in a rain chance at some point in time, Thursday night through Friday night. But at this point in time, I do have that section of the 8-day forecast dry. We stay in the 70s Tuesday through Thursday, dry on Friday, and then with more rain returning over the weekend and colder air continue to work its way into the area. The big question will be, will we get a wintry mix at times? And will that have an impact on road conditions over the weekend? So that's going to be something that we'll have to really keep an eye on as we head into that part of the forecast. But you'll notice that we're down in the upper 20s. So we are going to be looking at our first freeze of the season early next week. Halloween, high of only 47. So just to give you a closer look at what we're looking at, here's the European model through next Tuesday. Again, the highest totals in our eastern communities, not quite as much, but still some decent rainfall up towards north central Kansas. GFS, not quite as heavy, a little bit more widely scattered across the area, a little bit more uniform rainfall totals, if you will. So it's going to be something that we'll take on a day-by-day basis. Halloween evening, if you're curious, at 7 p.m., here's a look at the two computer models. 30s, maybe low 40s if we're lucky at 7 p.m. So again, I can't stress this enough. If you haven't gotten your Halloween costume yet and you're looking to get one, get one that will keep you warm. It does look like it is going to be on the chilly side. And looking at our extended outlooks for the 6 to 10 day outlook, 8 to 14 day outlook, probability below normal temperatures will be with us through much of Kansas and weather than normal conditions as well. Maybe changing it up a little bit in the 3 to 4 week outlook, though, with the probability of above normal temperatures returning to the area. So overall, it's going to be very mild through Thursday, but on the humid side as well. Any storms that we do get, I think the potential for severe weather is very low. Not impossible to get a brief storm that does produce a little bit strong winds and maybe some small hail. The lightning is going to be the main threat with any thunderstorms that will be in the area. Otherwise, it may just end up being rain. It's generally going to be rain and maybe a little bit of a wintry mix over the weekend. Very minimal threat for thunderstorms during that time, but it'll certainly be something to keep an eye on. Keep checking back in daily for updates as we continue to fine-tune the specific details as far as how much rain to expect each day and when the highest chance for rain will be and where it will be. All those details on a day-by-day basis.